Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj ki jai. His Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Ekadasi Bhakti ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for coming for our discussion on leadership. Teaching from His Holiness Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj. So we're still looking at this wonderful topic. This section is entitled Taking Action. And we are on day 20. We have gone so far. The introduction to this chapter is a compassionate leader should help to ensure a viable future for everyone by protecting the environment, which contains the Earth's life support systems. The most constructive form of economic growth and development is people-oriented, based on appropriate technology that is on the human scale and does not consider economic profit as its sole measure of value. In this one, we have had so many communities when it's Prabhupada encourage the devotees to have farm community, vegetable communities. Many devotees took it very seriously. They jumped into the project. But 99% of it failed. And people begin to wonder if they did not follow the instruction, or what was wrong with following the instruction of the spiritual master. And when we carefully look at the situation, we discover that some of the reasons why the community did not succeed, or our communities will not succeed, is what the Gurudev is addressing. One is that we do not understand. We do not understand what is a community. We did not understand what are the things we should do. The Gurudev mentioned here about a technology that is on a human scale and does not consider economic profit as its sole measure of value. Some of us thought that a community is to go there, produce food so we can sell and make money. So money was the first thing, because we have this syndrome that we don't have economic base for most of our temples. And therefore, this could be one of the systems for having a financial support for the temple. So it was a failure because we misunderstood. If you understand it perfectly, Gurudev started by saying that a compassionate leader, a leader who has the interests of the citizens in his heart. He's not looking at money, he's looking at the people, the welfare of the people. So Gurudev said, a compassionate leader should help to ensure a viable future for One, by protecting the environment, which contains the Earth's life support systems. This day we say eco-friendly. That's what we say, eco-friendly. We want to be friendly. We don't want to disturb nature because we want nature to maintain us. To maintain us, we have to be friendly. That means we have to know how to coexist or how to approach our maintainer, Mother Nature, by not destroying. The economic consideration shouldn't be the main issue. That should come. So Gurudev said the most constructive form of economic growth and development is people-oriented. People-oriented. We are looking at the people's sustenance, the people's welfare, not just how we use the people to make money. It is the people that we are managing, that we are leading. And when that is properly done, as we have been discussing through the book, then everything will fall into place. So that was the introduction. And now we go into the topic for today, the discussion for today. Overconsumption is a contagious disease. Overconsumption is a contagious disease. How is that happening? Through misleading advertisement, misleading. If you look very carefully today, you will see that demons are hiding under this umbrella. The demons are hiding under this umbrella. Advertisement. Misleading advertisement encourages people to buy what they often do not even need. His Holiness Radha Maharaj told us how he visited one of his friends and he discovered that his son, at that time, I don't know for now, his son, the son of his friend, has 2,000 toys. 2,000, just for a small boy, 2,000 toys. How are they getting it? It is through advert. So Gurudev says it is a contagious disease, overconsumption, which is pushed into our head through misleading advertisement. So we are forced to buy things we don't need. The industrialized world's rapid consumption of resources destroys countless acres of land each day. And this excessive use of resources is also accelerating the extinction of plant and animal species. You check every year, don't just one day or 2 days, a Christmas celebration, a New Year celebration. Just one day. Look at the number of animals that are killed. Just for one day. Millions of animals are killed. Billions of trees are destroyed. Just for one day. Just for one day, millions of lives are being taken, including plants and animals. Just for one day, only one day, millions of billions. His Holiness Swami has the figure, the exact figure he usually gives. The number of lives that were destroyed just for one day or 2 days. The Christmas Day and the New Year Day. And he asked a question. Do we think if Jesus Christ is here, he will be happy with this? Or do we think we are celebrating Jesus' birthday? Or a pure devotee's appearance on earth? Is it a benediction for us or a source of destruction? Of course, the people concerned will not hear these questions, and they will not also have access to this question because they are doomed by the result of their sinful activities. So advertisement is forcing us to buy so many things which we do not need. When we visited a friend, and for 1 hour we spent, just 1 hour we spent with a friend in the house. His wife changed 20 dresses. 20, just 1 hour. She changed 20 dresses. Just 1 hour. What is wrong with this? What is wrong is that we are forced to take care of the body and forgetting the soul. Our self-interest is lost. And selfish interest is maintained. While we are busily maintaining our selfishness, we are destroying our self-interest. That's the danger. So Gurudev says it's a contagious disease. We forget our self-interest while we are very busy with selfish interest. Therefore, a leader's responsibility is to show compassion. It is show compassion by leading people in a proper way, by leading people to understand what is our prime necessity, what do we really need, and what are the things we simply want. What we want is different from what we need. Just like most of us want to hear the thing we want to hear and not the thing we need to hear. The things we need to hear is different from the thing we want to hear. Just like most of us also like to eat something that the tongue wants, not what the stomach wants. What the tongue wants is different from what the stomach needs. So most of us go for what the tongue requests, not what the stomach is interested or what is beneficial for the stomach. What the stomach needs will nourish the body, but what the tongue needs will destroy the body. So leaders' duty with respect to misdirected development. Next slide. Leaders' duty with respect to misdirected development. Misdirected development. Modern societies seem to admire individuals and nations for acquiring and using as many commodities as possible. The more assets they amass, the greater their apparent success. A leader must offer a stable and secure future. A stable and secure future to everyone by being more conscientious about the effect of each decision upon the world's environment and resource base. This is the duty of a leader. Our duty is what? With respect to misdirected development. Misdirected. misdirected. It means we don't have to follow what the world is issuing, because the world is being led by not devotees, not even those who have our self-interest in their hearts, but people who do not know who we are, but profess to do something for us. How can they help us when they do not know who we are? It's not possible. We have to establish or to offer a stable and secure future for everyone. By being more conscientious about the effect of each decision upon the world's environment and resource base. This is very important. We shouldn't forget that our concern is to be friendly with nature. But the world leaders are not looking for being friendly with nature, but to be destructive, destroying so many lives just for a few days. For what? For our palate, just to please the tongue, and not even the stomach. So leaders we have the responsibility to guide the people, especially those who are under us, on a proper way, to place God in the front, in the center, and we simply follow behind what nature has given to us. Yes, that is wanted, that is needed, and that is what we need. That is what we need. The world needs this, and the world needs this knowledge, but they do not know where to have it, where to get it. So those who are in Christian consciousness are very, very fortunate that we have this access. We have the access to this profound knowledge. The solution to the world's problem is in the hands of the devotees. Next. Staggering toll on humans and society. Sexual promiscuity. Moral and ethical degradation leads not only to increased promiscuity, crime, and exploitation, but also to a heightened sense of helplessness, hopelessness, and despair. Moral and ethical degradation leads not only to increased promiscuity, crime, and exploitation, but also to a heightened sense of hopelessness and despair. Why is that? A reaction to our sinful activities will always confront us. The reaction to our sinful activities will always haunt us wherever we go. Always haunt us. So, it's not only that the crime will increase, exploitation mentality will increase, but with all these challenges that confront us every day, we become hopeless and full of distress, uncertainty. Next is that the suicide rate among the young is increasing. The suicide rate among the young is increasing, not reducing. It is not reducing, it is increasing. Some years ago, I was introduced to one college. And I was not introduced to the college because of the high standard of the school. When one mentions that college, what comes to the mind is the school is known for suicide, especially the graduate from that school. That is how the school is popular, well known. The graduate, they are worrying about what is going to be. Now they have been in school, they have been studying and doing something. But now what will happen after the school? To get a job is another headache, that's another problem. How long will it take? That is another problem. Even when you get in the job, that's another problem. But as a student, one depends on the parents. So it's easier. And we have this situation all over the world. In some holy places, also people go there to commit suicide, both young and old. So it is a heavy security there, that whoever goes there for pilgrimage will be heavily screened to see that this is a holy place. People should go to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. But people are going there to commit suicide because they know that if one dies here, one will go to a higher planet. So people prefer to go and commit suicide. A holy place is not designed for that. It is designed for uplifting people's spiritual life. But people go there, people are turning it into a suicide squad. Why? The result of our sinful activities will haunt us. Next, rampant sexual promiscuity has contributed to an increase in AIDS and other sexually transmitted diseases.
It's 3 o'clock.
Oh, great. Faithful Sarah, thank you. Single parenting, children having children, incest, and child abuse. This is terrible. So when Isla Papa said, Hare Krishna devotees, you have a huge job to do. Papa said, Hare Krishna devotees will have huge task, huge duty. What is that? Papa just used that word. And then they used technology. He said technology, highly technology. He had dismantled everything and placed all of them before us. It's a picture of what is happening. A thing which we do. Gurudev is placing it all before us. What do you have? Abhishek Prabhu. So keep your question later if it is a question. Are you not hearing us? Are you not hearing us? Your hand is up. Abhisharupa and Nitya Kishore. Bad. All right. Take your hand down. Okay. So Isla Prabhupada said our task is huge, heavy, huge. Very tall like Mount Sumeru. How is that? Gurudev is putting it here for rampant sexual promiscuity. Has contributed to an increase in AIDS. I remember a few years ago, we went to the college here in Nigeria. We went to the university, and I saw in the campus there were so many seminars, so many flyers and banners all over the campus about seminars on AIDS and HIV. I didn't see any flyer for the subject the students have gone to study in the school. But I saw everywhere many varieties of flyers, and banners, requesting students to come for seminars on AIDS, HIV/AIDS. Why? Why people are spending more time on that instead of what had taken them to the school in the first place? Our sinful activities has increased our desire for more sinful activities. Therefore, what we see today is what? Ever increasing supply of material possessions. Transmitted disease, sexually transmitted diseases, there are many abortions, and in some countries, abortion is advertised openly. Painless abortion for only 2 hours. Painless abortion. And people are doing this thing, and people keep quiet when sinful activities are being advertised. People keep quiet. This is very dangerous. This is a heavy task and devotees have in our hands. Single parenting means what? A woman with a child without a father taking care, increasing their meaning. Single parenting. Or the father having the child, no mother. What is happening? These are not natural things. These things are happening as a result of our sinful activities. Children having children. My children are beginning sex life under their age, having sex, under age. And people are encouraging that. People are encouraging. Some parents are encouraging that. In the school, it's encouraged. And we see some schools, the students are trained on sex education. Not how to abstain, but how to do it. Do not suppress the agitation. Don't do it. The more you do it, the better. You'll be free and happy and satisfied. The consequences is what? Single parenting. Children having children. Incest and child abuse is increasing. Incest. Sex within the same family. The brother having sex with the sister, or the father having sex with the daughter, or the mother with the son. This is animal life, not human life. This is animal life. It is animal life, not human life. So we have huge responsibility. And also some people are discouraging early marriage, but they are encouraging early sex life. What is this? What is this? I don't know. Is it better for us to I feel, before I ask my question, this is my feeling. My feeling is that we are not sensitive to people's emotional feelings, or the amount of emotional destruction we are doing for people. When we keep people for some custom, so as an example, some custom, you have to wait until your senior sister or senior brother get married before you get married. Do we have the same karma? Do we have the same karma? If suppose my senior brother or my senior sister's karma is that she may not have husband. Therefore, I'm going to be forced to participate in his or her karma. Is it fair? Is it fair? Is this religion? Is it Christian consciousness? I do not think so. This is my own. I'm not imposing my feeling to all of you, but this is my feeling I'm expressing. I have right because we have different, we are individuals. So I should express my own feelings. Like anyone else will express his or her feelings. Therefore, for me, I would prefer early marriage. And I'm sure Sir Prophet approved that. Sir Prophet approved that. He married, the girl was 9 years. And Prophet specifically said she does not know about sex. She doesn't know about sex. This is 9 years. That time, not this time. This time, 9 years, she already knows. Because a lot of exposure is there these days. A lot of exposure. The parents are doing nonsense, school, teachers, everywhere, billboard, everywhere. But those days, it was the people were more divine. Seriously. So Prabhupada said she does not know about sex. But today night she knows. She knows. This is wrong. Children having children. This is wrong. Children having children. Incest and child abuse. In order to finance lifestyle replete with an ever-increasing supply of material possessions, both parents must now work, leaving the children of the nuclear family to be raised by daycare centers and babysitters. This is another danger. It's another danger. When a child is given to babysitters or other people to be, another woman to be taken care of, the child is going to grow with affection for who? The child will develop affection for who? The person who has been with her all along throughout, or the person whom he or she does not know. The biological mother would never get affection of the child because there is no relationship between them. She is in office or the man is in office. The person who has been with her all along, hugging, caring, taking, hugging, keeping, touching all the time, naturally the affection will develop for that person. We develop for that person. So we are creating a very dangerous culture, civilization, dangerous civilization. Why? Because we cannot manage our desires. Of course, in some cases, they are different. There are different cases. But the bottom line is the same. And if we handle our desires properly, we will be able to function within our limited needs. I'm satisfied with that. But today, the society is not helping the situation. The society is pushing everyone to go into the wrong things, the wrong ways, the wrong desire. The society is not helping. Even if you desire to be saintly, our society today does not support you. Doesn't. And Prabhupada mentioned that in First Canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, First Canto, Chapter 1, Text 22. The purpose that Prabhupada mentioned. Kali Yuga is so strong that it does not support even our desire to take to a spiritual life. We will fall into the hands of cheaters who pretend to be godly, but they are not. A competitive workplace environment creates stress, yes, which impairs the quality of work and contributes to workplace illness and absenteeism. New technologies almost always destroy more jobs than they create. Yes. Workplace, technology is taking everything away. So good they call it staggering toll on humans and society. Next. The cause of Western style development. Hidden cause of development. The deleterious effect of industrial growth and material development will outweigh the gains. It is incumbent on the leaders of society to what? Carefully weigh the prospective benefits and detrimental effect of a technology upon the people before any implementation begins. Very important. This is very important. We should carefully weigh the prospective benefit and detrimental effect of a technology. Before a leader ventures into something, we should check the merit and the demerit. We should look at everything very carefully before we take into it, because the consequences will weigh back on us in everything that we do. The ability to prolong human life has been counterbalanced by the growing problems of the aged. Widespread automation has produced unemployment and dehumanization of the workplace. When we look very carefully to our today's situation, our today's world, we see inhuman behavior towards human beings is alarming. Inhuman behavior towards humanity is alarming. It's alarming. In all society, around the world, we see this. Leaders would be wise to support development programs that direct people towards a healthy, simpler lifestyle. One focused on compassionate relationships with all life instead of the Western world's example of abuse, misuse, and exploitation of nature and people. Leaders should use people for themselves, for their own benefit. As a leader, we should use people for their own benefit. We should not use people for our own benefit, so-called benefit. We should use people for their benefit. That is the duty of a leader. Instead of trying to compete with our modern style of life, which is not healthy at all for anyone. The civilization where we are living for nothing. At any moment, you can lose your house. At any moment, you can lose your job. At any moment, you can lose your life. Is that life? At any moment. Anything can go wrong at any moment, and that is the end. Majority of people may not recover from it. Majority may not recover from it. Industrialization. So leaders have the responsibility to create a compassionate relationship. Simple lifestyle. Papa gave us that slogan. Simple living and high thinking. If we live simple, we are going to think about higher things like God consciousness. If you live a sophisticated animal life, we are not going to think very high. We're going to think very low. We're going to think very low. Better to live a simple life and think very high. Simple life. Simple life. Using next. Using local and natural resources. Learning from the mistakes of the West. This is very important. In order to more fully develop the capacity for caring and sharing, two mottos must echo around the world. Simple living and high thinking. And also, small is beautiful. Small is beautiful. Yes, small is beautiful. Instead of following the Western model, leaders must consider the specific need of each nation and its people, including physiology, sociology, environment, weather conditions, available resources, and existing talent pool of human skills. I very much appreciate India for this. I feel the Indians, they know their difficulties, their challenges, and they work towards it. You see varieties of mobility constructed locally there in India. Very nice. This is good. You should think locally, see what is the necessity, what do we need here, and just work it out a simple way. It's very, very good. Instead of waiting for heavens to fall to earth, better to look for something simple and start. If you start simple, you become big. Or if you start small, you become big. If you start big, you will fall. Better to start small and grow big. A nation can continue to produce locally manufactured products, even if these are not polished or sophisticated, using locally available manpower and resources to improve quality, rather than buying these resources and skills outside of the country. Very, 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 very important. Very important. So manufacture our things locally. It will be less expensive. The headache of all the anxiety over taxations and the custom duties and the custom procedures and the transportation, everything. Produce a thing naturally. It will help the country to grow economically. Even if it is not spiritual, but economically to help. Yes. Those who ignore the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. Although it will be wise to act immediately to avoid the pitfalls inherent in Western technology. The glitter of an apparently comfortable, opulent lifestyle shines so brightly that it often blinds both leaders and the led, who believe that they can have a pleasure and circumvent the pain. Take care not to be deceived. You can fulfill your responsibilities by planning development to fit your own culture and natural environment. So you should not be deceived. Don't be deceived and work on all levels. Yes. You can take steps to implement a simpler, more self-sufficient, and less wasteful lifestyles. The world is depending on you. The world is depending on us. Do something. Do something. We have to start. We started this discussion from the introduction Gurudev gave, and the importance of being friendly with nature. Should produce our own food, not chemicals. The chemical makes everything artificial and not good for human consumption, contaminated. The people grow older than their age and have a lot of tension and anxiety due to the artificial food, which we a wasteful lifestyle, which we cultivate. Therefore, Buddha is saying, you can take steps to implement a simpler, more self-sufficient, and less wasteful lifestyle. Less wasteful lifestyle. The world is depending on all of us for this simple lifestyle. It's not only one person, but it is all of us that they have to take care of this. Next. I'm through with this. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Questions, answers, comments. Over to you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, whoever has questions can raise their hands, or they can put their questions in the chat box, and we can highlight them, or maybe we can ask Srila Gurudev your questions. So whoever is ready with the questions, either please put them in the chat box, or please raise your hands and we'll call you. Shyam Murari Prabhu has a question.
All right.
Have Shyam Murari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna Guru. Yeah.
Thank you, Srila Gurudev, for a wonderful lecture series. I have a question that currently when we preach to devotees or even new people, youngster, we see that, as you mentioned, misleading advertisement has practically created a mixed kind of varna in them. So even, for example, the boys are not mature enough to be like a man, and the girls maybe not mature enough to be like a woman. In a sense, everybody's varna seems to be like Western style, Gurudev. That means if you don't give them Western lifestyle setting, they become very unhappy, they become very unpleased, they don't feel like living. They all want to do, if for example, even ladies or everybody wants to do job, they all want to enter into a software kind of thing. And if not given, they feel isolated, or they feel depressed in their life, Srila Gurudev. And to us, it looks that's how now the Varna is for them. So how to solve this issue, Gurudev? Because from childhood, youngsters, they are getting trained or groomed, like Prabhupada mentioned, in modern universities, from schools, they are groomed in a certain way. So when they grow up mature, it becomes difficult for to guide them or help them, Gurudev.
Yes, that is the danger. In one lecture, Rampant mentioned that our present leaders, they are making our service very difficult to do. Yeah. By this, people have been groomed to think that as soon as you finish your education, go to the city. As soon as you finish, go to the city. Don't waste your time here. And in some places, in some countries, it is a government law. It's a government law that we should not go into agriculture. Just go to the factory. Go and look for jobs. It's a government rule. But they do not see that when all the young people are sent to the city, to the street, the old people are left there to produce the food for us. They are not seeing that these old people are going to pass. What will happen to our city when the food is not there? Are we going to eat both and nuts? Proper question. Are we going to eat both and not in the street, in the factory? With our software, where there is no food, we are going to eat our software. Even if it is soft, are we going to eat it? This is not coming to our head because our head has been blocked with this disease of thinking that you are wasting the time if you are not a slave in the city. You are wasting your life. If you are not godly, you are wasting your life. If you are not sinful, you are wasting their life. So the handwriting is very, very clear on the walls that we are heading towards doom. Like I said, we have created an adulterated varna, adulterated varna. It's an adulteration because varna is according to one's nature and the mood. But now we are establishing a complete destructive varna, which is not varna. It is not, because it does not shoot any person. We are creating an artificial life for everyone. So where is the future? The future is blink for everyone. That is why I have put a proper saying that they are making our job very difficult to do. To preach to somebody who is already doctrinized with this kind of culture, they feel, like I said, they feel that they are suffocated. We are suffocating them because that is not what they want to do. They want to go and hang around and pollute our consciousness with unnecessary things. So we have the responsibility to stand on our feet, to tell them, no, this is not correct. It may look beautiful for you today, but look the future. What is the end of what you are, what we are planning to do? What is the future? What is the end? We should help them to see this. We have to help them to turn them back. If we don't do this, it's a failure on our part. But at least we have to try to save those who can be saved by turning them back, to let them know scientifically that this path is leading to destruction. We should make it very clear for them to see. We were discussing who is going to eat both and not. Who is going to eat that? Who?
Nobody.
Nobody. Therefore, it is not meant for human beings. Simple like Gurudev ended. We should help. Our leader is to help people to have a simple lifestyle. Simple lifestyle, not a sophisticated lifestyle. Sophisticated animal life, you know, human life. You have to help them to understand this. Yes, Prabhu.
Srila Gurudev, adding to this, one more part was there. As you mentioned that within ISKCON also and within outside, many times devotees tried to develop a kind of farm community, which many a time could not succeed. The
Yes.
farm community. So many times
they did not succeed. One reason I gave was that we went in there with the commercial mentality, not the interest of helping people. Therefore, there's a failure. This is one thing. Second problem, very serious problem, very, very serious one, more dangerous than this a commercial mentality, is that many people have gone to these communities, consider themselves to be useless and a failure. If I'm not a good Sankirtan devotee, I'm not a manager, I'm a useless person. Therefore, going for such service is meant for those who are less intelligent, those who are less important, those who are condemned. So majority of people have gone to this community with this mentality. And in this community, everybody is thinking like this environment is meant for useless people. What are we going to do in that environment? What are we going to do there? Condemn people. What are we going to do there? We're not going to put in our effort to make it a successful venture. We are not going to make it because we have already contaminated our consciousness like that. That was a very big disease that people carry to the communities we were trying to establish. Third thing, we don't understand what is meant by community. We don't know the meaning, community. Community, what's the meaning, community? People of the same mindset, the same understanding, the same kind of interest. It's a community. But when we have seen the people with divergent mindset, ideas, or to that community, my purpose of coming here is to come and take care of cows so I can sell them to make money. You have come here with the mindset to come and produce a vegetable you can sell to make money. Or I have come here because I'm a failure, I cannot distribute, I'm not a good distributor. I have come here to come and while away time, to come and see what I can do here. Our interests are completely different from each other. Even if we are going to do different things, which is good, but the interest must be one. What is the interest? Our interest is that we have come here to help to facilitate each other's interest in success of Krishna consciousness. That is missing. We will not succeed. That's happened. So many communities started after before moment, everything is gone. Silent. And now, so for people to go there and think, oh, this is succeed, oh, that is succeed, oh, I did it before, oh, we did that before, did it before. They didn't even learn the lesson why they didn't succeed. A few years ago, in Mayapur, that time he's following the Bhakti Maharaj. And few of us, he called all of us, first of all, we were having Varnasam seminar in Mayapur. We did for some years before it stopped. So one afternoon, we were going for this seminar, and I met one senior devotee, the Minister for Justice, ISKCON. So he asked me, hey, Maharaj, what is this all about? What is this Varnasam thing all about? I'm asking you this because we have tried all this in the past, we didn't succeed. And what is this people are trying to do? What is this? Tell me. I say, Prabhu, I am not there in that community which you participated and didn't succeed. But from experience, and you are asking a question, I will tell you. So I mentioned this to him. This is a problem. He said, yes, you are correct. He agreed 100% with me that I was correct. That they went in there with a wrong mentality. That was a mistake. And people are still doing the same mistake. We should know what we want to do. We should understand what is community. We should know. In this environment, we are here to support each other. We are not here to compete with each other. Some places that are living there, they said it's a farm community, but the people that are living there, they will make bread and go and sell it in the city, but it's not farm in the place there. They say it's a farm community, it's a community. They are not producing even one tomatoes there, but it's a farm community. They will produce, they make something, go and sell in the city. And people should come from the city to come and patronize us in the community there. The community should be self-sustaining. It's a community, like an entity. It's a unit. Only when we understand this, we will succeed. Without this mentality, we are not going to succeed. We are going to send all our strength to all our strength means the youth, the young people are going to send them to the street, and we remain in the village here. And when we die, everything is finished. No food. Sima Bhagavatam already prophesied that. 12th canto Bhagavatam already mentioned that. A time will come when there will be no food. And people will marry many wives. The people will marry many wives, not only because they need more sex. They're marrying many wives because they're going to produce children, and one of the children is going to be the food they will eat. So they will marry many wives and have many children. So one day your wife is going to the kitchen to cook. You just drag one child to the kitchen and slaughter that animal. Can you imagine that kind of life? Bhagavatam mentioned that it's coming. And we are laying the foundation. Today we are not seeing it, but we have to see it clearly what our charities are teaching us. We are laying the foundation for that, what Bhagavatam already mentioned. That we are not encouraging producing food and leaving it to only old people. When old people are finished, they are gone. Who is going to produce the food when all of us are in the city producing both and not? We are going to marry many wives and produce many children so we can use that to eat. Now, if you see someone, we condemn Rakshasa, we say, oh, this is a Rakshasa, a demon, they died here. But that time, everybody will be a Rakshasa because we're eating our own children as food. So, Gurudev ended this discussion by saying what? The world is depending on us. The world is depending on you. Sham Radhi Prabhu. The world is depending on you. All of you here. The world is depending on you. So what are you going to give us? What are you going to give us? But or not, technology, we spend billions to make ammunitions and spend nothing for agriculture and education. That's the future. All over the world, they're spending billions of dollars for ammunition. How much for health? How much for education? 1%. Is that future? We are waiting for that future. Can't we see it clearly that it is going to what Bhagavatam has prophesied? And our charities are speaking about it clearly. It's not easy. It's not difficult. Is it difficult for us to understand what is happening? What is going to happen tomorrow? Can't we see it today? That our today activity is our tomorrow. It's our future. That's our future. Today is our future. What we're doing today, that is our future. All right?
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you for your wonderful guidance, Gurudev.
Hare Krishna. Next question.
Hare Krishna. We have Aveshru Prabhu and Nitya Kishori Radha Mataji with their question.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Please accept our obeisances, Srila Gurudev. Actually, our question, I have one question again regarding what you mentioned, misleading advertisement. I was thinking, Srila Gurudev, in my mind that this topic can also relate to the verse in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, where Lord Krishna is saying that when we contemplate on the object of the senses, attachment develops and then lust, followed by anger. So Srila Gurudev, I have personal experience that many times I have seen some young devotees, they are very much influenced by the advertisements and all the billboards, etc. And I have seen some devotees, the young devotees, they play video games and they do the skateboarding in the temple. So I was thinking they are very much influenced. So my question was, Srila Gurudev, how can we help them? Because in the lecture where the parents are sitting and listening to the lecture, the kids are playing on the video games on their mobile phones. So how can we guide them and help them, Srila Gurudev?
That is child abuse. The parents are doing child abuse. they will be angry with somebody. They will be angry with somebody for spoiling their own children, but they are silently doing it in their own house. And they're extending that also to the temple. They are sitting in the temple so-called lecture. They're not hearing the lecture. Because they give the cell phone to the children because that is what they want to do. So they are facilitating the children because that is what they do themselves. The children are copying from them. So they're teaching the children to do this nonsense thing they're doing. Because if they are not doing it, they will not allow their own children to do it. Because they're doing, they're allowing the children to do. So they're dangerous, very dangerous. They're destroying the future of the world. Because the children are the future. When we are destroying the children, the world has no future. And that we can see very clearly. So many children having issues with this. So many children. Yes. So many children. I'm talking about children. How did they learn this thing from? It's from the parents. Okay. Yes. I remember some years ago, in Mauritius, in Phoenix Temple, I was invited for Children's Day. I spoke last because I came when they already started. And there were so many children with them. So one day I was to speak, I was laughing. And I asked the parent, what did we say we are doing here? I don't know, I should be told. Oh, Children's Day. What is Children's Day? You send your children to go to a public school for how many hours? And they spend how many hours with you in the house? So who is going to influence one? Who? The parent or the teachers, the mundane teachers in the school? Who is going to influence the child? The person who is spending longer time with the child will influence the child. So the children come from school and sing funny songs, funny songs in the house and in the temple. And then you are teaching the child one verse about guitar for how many hours? One verse about guitar. We did maybe once a day or once a week, but the child has spent 6 hours worth studying video games. And you're spending 1 hour to teach the child. Which one is going to enter the child's head? Yeah, 1 hour about the guitar or the 6 hours video games. Which one is going to enter the child's head?
The video games.
6 hours or 1 hour?
6 hours.
And then we say what? Then we say we are protecting our children. So in the class, I said, this is what I said. If you all of you can remember, this is what I said in my lecture. This is what I said. And I clearly told him, all of you should know that you are not protecting your children. You are not. All of you householders, I feel all of you are selfish. You're making elaborate arrangements for your weddings, but you don't make arrangements for your children. See how much we spend. Some of us even borrow money to do our wedding. We don't borrow money to train our children in Christian consciousness. In a healthy lifestyle, they're going to become leaders that are going to lead this world. The Gurudev ended here. The future is in our hands. This lesson should be clearly understood and practiced. So I told them advice, this was my advice, please, all of you should take this thing very seriously and remove the television from your house. They said, oh no, the children want it, the children want it. After the lecture, we went to the house, I got the call, and all the children say, it is not we who want it, it's our parents. I said, yeah, I did not tell lie. The parent who wanted, not the children, because the child will not go and buy television. It is the parent who have bought the television in the house. So I told them, all of you, throw your television to the street. Everybody, you talk too much. Okay, I talk too much, but all of you are having the problem. I don't have anxiety, so we are helping you to do this.
Yes.
We are practical, and we have to be practical. Otherwise, we can speak with philosophy and the problem continue. I will just die like cockroach. This will not help me. In Brazil, I did the same thing. I told I called the parents, we should have a school, we should have a school, we should have a school. We should have our own school. I had a meeting here and there, 3 meetings happened. When I left there, everything finished. When I went back the next time, I asked, the devotee told us, we want the school, but our parent does not like it. That is why we didn't succeed in establishing the school. Until today, we don't have the school. They made it very clear. We want the school, but our parent does not want it. Mm. We have the responsibility to change the situation, but we are not interested. But we should know, better that we should know. We know what we are doing is wrong. So if you don't do that, is another thing, but we should know. Our duty is to let us understand what is happening. And then it's left for us to do what we want to do. But the consequences will come upon us. Yes. Don't you see, this day the children are not taking care of the parents? What is that? It's reaction. Everything is reaction. It's a reaction. Parents are working very hard to train the children in the wrong way. The children will go to London, they go to Japan, they go to the US, they go to Frankfurt, then Germany, everywhere. They will come when the parents have died to come and celebrate the death of the parent and go back to their to go back to that place. All over the world. This is this is happening. And nobody sees it. You know what is happening? The children come and celebrate our death and go back to their place and continue with their gratification. They are not there when the parents are leaving the body. The parents are alone, suffering. Even those who are there with the parent, they will not do anything. They will pray, let them die and give us chance. Yeah, losers. It's your reaction. All right?
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Gurudev. Thank you. Thank you.
Abhishek's hand has been up since.
Yes, we have Abhishek Prabhu with this question.
Okay. Now he's smiling because he's on board. Please tell us, what's your question or your comment?
Thank you, Sila Gurudev, for a wonderful class. I know means authority to give comment, as I am a very junior devotee. I can only ask questions and get resolved of my own conflicts which are going on in my heart and my mind. Yes, Guru Sila Gurudev. My question is that, like you told on the topic of sexual promiscuity, on that there is that people have sexual and go on. So that comes from means that tendency goes on and leads to so many problems and so many so many difficulties in the problem situation. So the point is that I means as a conditioned soul and taking a material body in this world. So I have also conditionings of his sexual tendency only that is very deep rooted. And as I am now growing in age, that tendency is also very much creeping. Means mind is always following the our mind intelligence. So mind overpowers, and sometimes my own prescribed rounds of chanting, like what I take a resolution myself to chant, that becomes difficulty. And there are many other problems also which are coming due to my insisting that I want to chant 16 rounds. So how to come out of that?
Yes. That is the nature of the mind. The nature of the mind is to go for lower things and not encouraging us to go for higher things. The mind is like that. I've been accustomed to that since time immemorial. So the best thing to do is to neglect. How do we neglect the mind? We should not give it importance. We should try to hear the name which we are chanting. So try to hear the name which we are chanting. And if the mind is so stubborn, we should try to do something physical. Bhagavad recommends in the beginning, because our senses are so wild, in the beginning we have to engage our senses actively in practical service. That means we should not have spare time. We should work very hard throughout the whole day. So we don't have spare time. That is the way we can keep ourselves from that. This is saying that idle man is idle workshop, devil workshop, idle man, devil workshop. That is true. It's practical. So we should be busy, working hard. Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, Krishna recommends yoga ruksho. We have to work hard with the senses, engage the senses in physical work. When you're thinking, oh, I'm going to cook now, oh, I'm going to read now, I'm going to go to market, I want to buy this, I want to do this, I'm arranging all this, I want to plan this. The mind is away. So in this way, we'll not remember, and the mind will not push us into that. Oh, I want to do my things nice, so that I'll be on time, so grace I can be on time. So always thinking like this and working like this, the mind will leave us alone. And gradually, by this we'll become purified. So instead we can be using the scriptures to defend the dictation of our mind and in other senses. At the second stage, we can use the scripture. When the mind says here, no, the scripture didn't say, the Guru didn't say this, Krishna didn't say this. This is what the scripture said. I have to follow this. Before we get to this stage, we have to physically work. Do something hard. The time we joined the movement, we are put in a situation where we have all the program, and as soon as we finish prasadam, the Bhagavatam class, we take prasadam. The next thing is we're out. Come back 5 o'clock, take shower, take prasadam, have a kirtan, and lecture, you go to sleep. So we're very busy. Now you see devotees sleeping 1 hour, 2 hours in the afternoon, 3 hours in the afternoon. That is laziness. Essentially will disturb you because you are doing something which is not proper. So you should be busy working. Then we'll be free. Planning how to do our Krishna consciousness will be helped. All right?
Okay. Yes, Gurudev. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Next.
Hare Krishna. We have Venkatesh Prabhu with his question. Venkatesh Prabhu. Are you there with us, Venkatesh Prabhu?
Prabhuji, I think he got disconnected.
Yes, I think he got disconnected. Okay, and so I'll read his question, Gurudev, till the time he comes back. So he has sent his question. So he's asking, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you for your association. Why is there a difficulty for people to see mistakes of Western overconsumption lifestyle and culture of free mixing? And can telling them the glories of Vedic culture help these people to understand? Thank you.
Yes, it's a good question. The first thing, the main thing is our inferiority complex. Inferiority complex. When one feels inferior, like what is his name? Mr. Nehru. Mr. Nehru, he feels inferior to the Western culture.
It's 4 o'clock.
Thank you. So this is a very big prime minister in India, but he appreciated the Western culture so much that he condemned the Indian lifestyle. And Krishna helped him. He gave him a body of a dog in Spain, in Sweden. He became a dog. Why? He appreciated the Western culture because of inferiority, feeling inferior. This is a big problem. When one feels inferior, you cannot appreciate what you have. So I'm feeling inferior. This devotee, this devotee is such a good book distributor, and I can barely distribute 5 books a day. Oh, what a useless personality I am. When we feel like that, we will not use our own talent. We will not realize that this person can do very well in book distribution, but he cannot do very well also in cooking, which I can do, not me, this example. This person can have a nice kirtan because he has a talent, and he's using it for Krishna. But I can do a very nice Pujari service. Therefore, I should use that. That's my ability. I should use that. That's my talent. I should use that for Christian service. I will not use that because an inferiority complex have taken away my ability, my strength. For example, we are going to fight, and I'm becoming inferior to the style you are demonstrating. When we go to battle, you are going to win me because I'm not going to fight you. Even if I have the strength, I'll be defeated. This is a very big disease. Inferiority complex. It is bodily concept of life, as well as superiority complex. It's a bodily concept of life. Both of them are material. So Vedic culture bona fide culture is designed by many qualified people. And they did it out of their own superior intelligence, spiritual intelligence, not mundane. Therefore, whatever they design for us will work and help us. So better for us to follow that and be successful, be happy and successful. All right?
Okay. Thank you. Maharaj, I had one more small question. Can I ask?
Yes.
It was this one. Regarding farm communities, Maharaj. Now, suppose somebody is thinking of taking to that lifestyle, then there seems to be some insecurity. Like I've been growing up in this urban lifestyle for a long time. Can I settle there? Will it be suitable till end of life? So, what can be the correct mindset for this one?
It is not that you have to. There are many ways to do something. Many ways to do something. There are many musicians who do not know how to play an instrument. But they know how to sing. So they use the intelligence to get those who play instrument to play for him, and he sings and he's making a record. But those who are playing perfect instrument cannot make even music. You understand? There are so many musicians who does not know how to play any instrument, but they are very good at making money or name in music field. But those who are playing for them, they cannot also make name or make fame. The point I'm making is that it is not here or our field to do this fun community. We can use our sense to get people who are experienced and get all of them put together, and we can form that. We simply facilitate that. We should simply make the arrangement. We should bring them together and lead. Maybe you know how to lead, and they know how to do other things. So we will come together, community, and contribute our strength together and make something happen. That's what Popper calls lazy intelligence. Popper calls it lazy intelligence. He's successful, he's a winner, not because he had the same physical strength, but he can use intelligence to acquire everything perfectly. So that's why I give example of musician, because I have experience of that. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. There's another question from Saki Brenda.
Yes, Srila Gurudev. Sakrinda Mataji had a question. Should we invite her or should I read her the question?
Yes. If you want to speak or you want to speak. Maybe
okay, I'll read out. So he's saying, Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for the wonderful association. So if someone has a very sinful activity, if someone has done a very sinful activity, for example, incest before becoming a devotee, will the karma follow the person and how he should rectify it?
Yes, everything we do follows us. Everything. That is why we have been stressing this point. No one is independent. We are all responsible for everything that we do. Now, the point is that whatever may be our past life, when we come to Krishna consciousness and engage ourselves in Krishna consciousness, the fire of Bhakti will destroy all that. the fire of Bhakti will destroy. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the first chapter of Nectar of Devotion, when one comes to Krishna consciousness, have taken, especially when you have taken initiation, we should not go back to our old life again. We shouldn't go back to our old life. It will be dangerous because the one we have done, Krishna is taking care of it. Krishna is taking care. In Krishna, we are dealing with that. While we are practicing Krishna consciousness, we are dealing with all the sinful activities we have performed since time immemorial. That is going on. That is why you'll see that not all of us are advancing at the same level because you don't have the same amount of karma. For example, if you are washing a mechanic working gear, if you are washing a mechanic working gear, and then you are washing the another is dress of say Pujari, a Brahmana. It will not take the same amount of water, not the same amount of detergent, the same amount of effort. No. Just like if you light a match and put it on the grass, it will spark immediately. But if you put it on the sand, it will not spark immediately. It will stay for some time and dwindle and go off. But if you put it in water, immediately it will go off. So there are three here: ignorance, passion, and goodness. So it takes shape like that. So those of us who are very, very sinful, so many sinful activities you have done, coming to Krishna consciousness, it will take longer time for us to get pure. While those who have light reaction, it takes a shorter time. And those who have lighter, it also take a lesser time to get pure. Sometimes we see someone come to Krishna consciousness, is come and go, stay, not stay, is fluctuating like that. And you see someone come to Krishna consciousness, the first time immediately he said he will never go anywhere till the end. It's a result of what we have practiced in the past. It shows in our present practice. But in all, as we take to Krishna consciousness, all the unnecessary things, all the impurities and narratives will be gradually destroyed. Another example, if we put a wet wood in a fire and a dry wood in a fire, both of them will not burn the same way. The dry wood, there's no water inside. It will take a very short time to turn into ashes. But wet wood will take long time because the fire will have to first of all dry the water before it will start burning the wood. Similarly, we have done so many sinful activities. In Krishna consciousness, it will take some time before we get pure. That is why knowledge is good to help us understand. So I should not be envious of you because you're making advancement faster than me. I should not be envious. This is the importance of knowledge. So help us to understand this and not to increase our sinful activities again. By how we react negatively to unpalatable situations that confront us. All right, Saki, hope you get answer. Thank you for asking us. Nice question.
Thank you, Manoj, for answering.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. We have another question from Pragati Mataji. she's asking in continuation with the previous question. So she's saying that Hare Krishna Shri Gurudev, Dandavat Pranam. Is there any way to expedite the pace of washing out our previous karmas and advancing very quickly?
Yes. 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 But not many people want to take that path. That is the problem. Otherwise, there is a solution. Why do you think people will voluntarily give up all the facilities for self education and go to the forest, go and take such a rigorous process in practicing austerity? Why do people do that? Because they know this is a process. And this is a shorter way to get purified. Tabashaiva, Param Jotim, Bhagwan Tamadokso, the Sora Buddha, Guha, Basan, Bindati, Antasa, Puman. Tabasha, Eva, austerity is compulsory, it is necessary. It's not an option. Even if you're going to realize Krishna as Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, austerity is compulsory. Austerity is compulsory. For example, Ekadasi today. Ekadasi is very good. This opportunity for us to get purified easily. Ekadasi. Easiest way to approach Lord Krishna. Because Krishna personally designed this. He established this Ekadasi it's for our benefit. For our benefit, Krishna established Ekadasi. And he gave so many other days, like fasting days, Janmashtami. So, God Purnima, the Singha Chaturdasi is coming and fast completely, not reducing it. Some people want to correlate to 12. Even before 12 o'clock, they're already drinking, eating. There's no austerity. This is wrong. In the second count of Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna said, I created this material world by austerity. I'm maintaining it by austerity. And by austerity, I'm going to destroy it. So I'm austerity. But the devotee don't want to, Prabhupada doesn't say like that. Prabhupada doesn't say that. But we Prabhupada said I shouldn't do austerity. We the Prabhupada said. So if you can do it, so far it doesn't disturb your chanting and your services. Should do it. That's the fastest way. The quickest way. You want to destroy our karma faster? Austerity is the way. There's no other way. There's no other way, and there will be no other way. This is the only way to accept. Bhagavad Gita recommends charity also as a way to purify our existence. Charity. Dana, tapas. So we should do. Like Ekadasi day we should pray like His Holiness Imandidi Swami. Ekadasi, don't remember food. Forget about food. That is Ekadasi. Ekadasi, don't remember food. Just forget it. And Jagadananda Pandit. Jagadananda Pandit, he also has a notebook of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities in Jagannath Puri. So he said in his note, Prema Vivarta, very nice book. You should read it, Prema Vivarta, very nice. I always carry with me. I read, very nice. Prema Vivarta. Varta means when the liquid, when the Bhakti is liquidated, yes, get condensed. Yeah, Prema Vivarta. So in that book he recommended, when you go to Jagannath Puri, all the devotees, they eat grains when they carry seed. But Chaitanya we do not authorize it. So we tie the Kadasi up, we keep him down. So you can eat grains on the Kadasi, no problem. No devotee should do that. Because it is not approved by Lord Chaitanya. Upon Bharata, Jagadananda Pandit, he told us in his record that Chaitanya we call all the devotees together. Today is a Kadasi, it's a wonderful day. I am telling all of you, nobody should eat anything, even if it is Mahaprasadam. Don't take it, keep it for tomorrow. Don't take today, Kadasi. The only thing you should do today is japa. Japa. And he said, immediately upon hearing the devotee became jubilant. Some of them started doing parikrama, started chanting more rounds. Till the next day. See, even if it is Mahaprasadam, keep it till the next day. So we should respect the Kadasi. We should respect the Kadasi. This is one. Second is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Prabhu is advertising, promoting, and explaining the importance of the Kadasi. Chaitanya Prabhu told his mother, Sachi Devi, my mother, I need blessing, benediction from you. Sachi mother said, yes, please, ask me, you are my son. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear mother, please, I beg you, do not eat grains on the Kadasi day. Even in sleep, don't eat grains. Don't. In the Kadasi day, so fast and chant the holy name continuously like Harinasa. So at first I would die. Oh, I would die. Yes. If your mind convinces you that you will die, then don't fast. At least don't eat grains. Yes. At least don't eat grains. Because you're so weak that the mind has convinced you that you will die. The mind didn't convince you that you chant Hare Krishna mantra throughout day and night. The mind will not convince us to do that. The mind will convince you that, if you fast, you will die. Oh, you see that Guru, he told the disciple to fast and he died. You see, this is not what Prabhupada recommended. But the mind will not tell us that the chances is far on the Kadasi. Yeah, that is the way. That's the way to get free on time. Because so you're full of that. Janmashtami must be full of that. The signature to us, you come in a few days, 2 weeks from now. You should prepare for it. On the Singha, they were very, very happy to bless us completely if you just fast. Just fast nicely. Don't think about the food. Don't think about the Singhadev and his wonderful benediction of coming down to help us. That's what we should be thinking, not about food. Oh, what is it? It's taking too long for 6 o'clock. Sunset. It's taking too long. One devotee came to me when they said, Maharaj, why Ekadasi days longer than other days? I didn't know about that. But why is he asking this? Because he's after time. Look at the time. You're not consider the importance of Ekadasi. He's simply looking at the time. All right.
Thank you so much, Srila
Okay.
Gurudev.
Next question.
Yes, Srila Gurudev. I have a question. regarding the karma only, Gurudev, continuing to what Pragati Mataji asked. So in 10th chapter, I've read the process of in the purport Srila Prabhupada explain how the seed gets fructified. So Srila Gurudev, why is it that some karmas take long time to get fructified as their seeds, and some we get immediately?
You remember the Sarastra? You remember the Sarastra has to wait for a long time to get in the karma that you get 100 sons to be killed in in few days. So our Krishna is very, very kind. Krishna is very, very kind. We should know that Krishna doesn't make mistake. Yama doesn't make mistake in calculating, making everything perfectly arranged. So if one is very, very fortunate, you get the reaction of our activity immediately, so we can get rectified. That is great fortune. Great fortune. If we are not so fortunate, we have to wait for many lifetimes to get qualified to suffer for that, to pay for that karma we have done. And Krishna is calculating very carefully so that he knows the time he will give it to us, that we feel it the way we make other people feel when we did our own. Have you understand? When we do something wrong, other people suffer the pain seriously. So Krishna will give it to us at the time we will also feel the same amount of pain we made others felt when we do our own nonsense in the name of enjoying. So Krishna is very good, very expert. Make everything works nicely. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Gurudev.
Pranahari Prabhu is hand.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Pranari Prabhu is next for questions.
Okay. Cannot hear you. Can't hear you. No.
Follow with your earphone. 1 second.
Take your mic.
But I can hear you, Maharaj, clearly.
Well, we cannot hear you clearly.
Okay.
One second, sorry, Maharaj. Sorry.
It's clear now. It is clear now. Now I can hear
Hare
you.
Krishna Maharaj, can you hear me?
Very good. Yes.
Hello, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Sorry,
Can
Maharaj,
hear you.
sorry. I'm really sorry for that. Okay. Maharaj, Danvat Pranam. Sorry, Maharaj, I joined a little late. Actually, I was in another meeting. So, Maharaj, my question is that I experienced that though we are doing bhakti, but still in last few months I bit got fear and that what I'm basically that why I'm getting this fear of losing the life, or why I'm so much concerned about what is happening to me. So I was contemplating that why do I am doing the chanting and all that, but I was constantly getting in my mind and it was not going through. So even for the family also, I was constantly now, like whatever is happening in the world, actually constantly thinking about others also, that how we are going to survive and how we basically, and the fear is coming actually. It is not going actually. So where is the problem in me?
The soul The soul is not fearful. The soul is not fearful. And the soul cannot be fearful at the pure stage. Fear is due to our conditioning. Due to the condition, we are still conditioned. So, because our attachment is still in the body, so we are worrying about what will happen. Why fear? Because we're not sure what's going to be happening in the future. What will happen? For one who is sure, will not be afraid. For example, if you know that when I get home, my wife is there and the prasadam is there, will be afraid. Will be afraid what will get on, whether they be food or not. No, you're sure the wife is there, the prasadam is there. But if the wife is not there, it's a probability. Will somebody, good Samaritan or somebody will come around there, maybe make some food. So you're not sure. In the same way, because we are not completely pure, the fear is there. The pure soul cannot be afraid. Because they know there is nothing like that. Not just philosophy alone. It is realized, self-realized soul. The self-realized soul will not be disturbed by anything. Because it's sure, it's yes. I'm going there. So there's nothing like that for the body, for the soul. It is for the body. Therefore, this will help us to understand that we still need to work more on ourselves. That's the message. And Krishna is very kind. He makes us to learn. We should put more effort in our practice. We should become more sincere, more genuine in our practice, more determined in our practice. We should come closer to Krishna, more and more closer to Krishna. We should reduce our material activities. That is the message. The fear is not going to change anything. The fear will not change anything. Not going to stop that. But Krishna is using it to show that we still need to improve, to work hard, so we can come to the stage where we can see ourselves. Now, the moment we confess, it was my ignorance. I was seeing myself different from the Lord. At the stage of perfection, I can see that we are one. So, what's the question of fear? You're not afraid. So he was able to realize that we are one with the Lord. So, what's the question of fear? When I can see. If we don't know where we are going, then there's fear. Where will I go? What will happen? The fear. We already discussed attachment we have for material things will bring fear. Oh, what am I leaving behind? We're afraid of that. We're worried about that. A self-realization is not worried about anything. What are we leaving behind? What are we leaving behind? It's garbage. The things which are tying us down here, we're leaving behind. That's what we are leaving behind. Our Bhakti is not left behind. The Christian is not left behind because the super soul is always with us, everywhere. And if the super soul disappears, that means that we have fully realized the Supreme Bhagavan Krishna. So he's still with us. So where's the fear? It's fear because we don't see this. We may have theoretically said that or heard that, but it's not realized. So there's fear. So that's the message we should improve, should work more on ourselves. But when something happens, when Christian message comes before, we don't see it, we think something else and forget the real thing. The real thing is not the fear. That fear is Christian message to help us understand that we still need to work more, to work harder, should improve. That's the way Christian comes in to push us. So we are praying that Christian help all of us get more and more deeper in our Christian consciousness. And what bad head will come, good head will come. That is secondary. A wife is sick, that is secondary. It's a body that is sick, not the soul. And we pray that she get well and come back to her feet and prepare nice prasadam for you to enjoy. And both of you chant Hare Krishna with the children and go back to God. So it shouldn't be a problem because we are in Krishna's hands. So whatever happens is Krishna is taking you doing everything. We're in Krishna's hands. When we are fully conscious of this, we will not be afraid.
Yes, Maharaj. True.
All right.
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, one more thing. Sorry, I'm taking just 1 more minute. Maharaj, like, this, the fear which is connected to the mode of 3 modes, like, so basically, like, we want to be in the mode of goodness or satoguna, right? But sometimes, like, the body doesn't permit that, to remain in that mode. So sometimes we feel lazy. Sometimes besides, like the sleeping hours, I'm saying the other than what time we have. So how to maintain that, so that we remain active and then we focus more on Krishna consciousness or develop our spirituality.
Yes. We should always know that the Lord is there. The Lord is there. We should always know. You should be convinced that the Lord is there. Even though I have not seen, but the scriptures cannot tell lie. The chariots cannot tell lie. So he's there. He's there. Whatever we do, he's there. This understanding should be there. And as we continue to grow, we'll see everything become manifest as we continue to grow. We'll experience everything. Yes. Yes.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj, for your all help and all that. And I think all the devotee helped me to come back to this situation now. Thank you very much, all of you. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Always know the Krishna is there, devotees are there. All.
Yes, Maharaj.
Guru is there. So nothing to fear. Nothing to
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, Maharaj, just want to share one thing, because, out of like, there were, I think in Ethiopia, there's a population of 114 million. I found only one devotee who helped me actually. And because of his prasadam, like I recovered very fast. That is my personal 114 million. And then because of that, I think 14 million, 114 million population, only one devotee came. And that's, I was feeling like where it come from. And then he helped me actually.
Yes, see, that's Krishna is protecting you.
Yes. I realize that, Maharaj, very important.
Is there. Is there. Krishna's hand is always there. Everywhere. So Rupa Goswami said Krishna doesn't want his devotee to suffer. Even inside water, Krishna will go there. In the jungle, Krishna will go there. Animal, Krishna will go there. And he's doing that. You could see.
Yes, Maharaj. True. Yeah, true. Very true. Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Do we have time for one last question, Gurudev?
All right, last question.
Yes, so it is from Ram Charan Prabhuji from YouTube. This question is, Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev, Danvats Pranam. If one is not able to fast the entire day, and instead if one chants or reads more, can that compensate? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you can chant more, you can read more. Yes, you can do that. That's very easy to do. No problem. You can chant more, you can hear more, you can read more. Very good. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Gurudev. So just one last comment or a question from Amit Prabhuji is, sometimes due to bodily conditions like laziness, I am not able to maintain my mind in right state. What should I do?
Do something. So do something. So chant more. So hear more. And associate more. So the mind will be arrested. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So before we conclude, I would like to share something about the upcoming session. So we will be continuing to hear from Srila Gurudev on day 2 of on the topic taken today, the dangers of overconsumption and misdirected development. And we would like to thank you, Srila Gurudev, for your time today and taking us through the teachings of His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj, and share and giving us your time for question and answers too. And we hope to have you again next week, Gurudev.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
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 Hare Hare.
Jai.
Jayada.
Guru